I work as a data analyst. 5 years ago I discovered data analytics. It changed my career. Last year I started a YouTube channel. It changed my life. Today I will show you how two completely different interests can actually complement each other, and when combined together can lead to a more meaningful and balanced life, and how you can actually learn more from the things you don't like than the things you do like. They often say it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. In order to fully understand what I'm saying here today, we need to have a look at that journey. That's the only way to get the full benefit out of this video and apply the same concept in your own life, to discover what direction you want to go. Are you ready? Here we go. We go back in time to 2017. I finished university and it was time for the real world. And there were two types of people. The 1% that knew at kindergarten they wanted to become a doctor or data analyst, and then you had the 99% who had no idea. I was one of that 99%. And having a business background didn't help neither. Too general, too many options. Jack of all trades, master of none. But then the following happened. During my master degree, I discovered consulting at one of those networking events. They knew exactly how to sell their company to fresh graduates like me. By saying things like, we offer a steep learning curve, meaning you will do what others find boring. You will get a car, meaning you have to travel everywhere we say so. And last but not least, work hard, play hard, meaning we will give you unlimited drinks on Friday, but in return, you work 60 hours a week, but you get only paid for 40 hours a week. These are the things I've learned the hard way. At least these people were really eager to sign me. I don't know whether that had something to do with getting a bonus by signing people up, or they were genuinely interested in signing me. Either way, my strategy was to quickly discover what I like doing. And joining consulting was part of that strategy, because joining consulting would offer me a possibility to discover quickly what I like doing by doing different kind of projects at different kind of organizations. However, there are different type of consulting firms, so I needed to narrow it down by choosing one area of consulting in particular. I talked with employees of different companies, but what I've noticed is that IT and tech triggered my interest the most. I just find it fascinating how you could create solutions by coding. And I thought you need a computer science background to start. With no relevant background whatsoever, I needed to find a company to do both business and IT. In this way, I could decide whether I like doing the business side more or the technical side more. So that's what I did. My first project was a BA role. My official title was a business analyst. My unofficial title was do the stuff which others don't really have time for doing. Either way, I still learned pretty useful skills such as organizing, collecting information, and presenting outcomes to even management, and how to drink way too much coffee. But somehow it didn't feel concrete enough. I wanted to create impact. Then one day I had a cup of coffee with a colleague of mine and we were talking about each other's projects. He told me he was building an automation tool which performed data checks as part of improving the data quality. And I told him I want to do more data work. So he vouched for me, letting me picking some of the items. This was the moment I realized I actually like doing technical work. So it became my goal to learn more and more. And unfortunately, my possibilities at that firm were limited, so I needed to join a different firm. And from that point onwards, I never looked back and I stayed doing data analytics until this day. End of story. No, YouTube would have never entered my life if I didn't realize the following. And this part is really important. Each choice has positive and negatives. And I would even argue that the negatives will bring you closer to your goal than the positive. Because by discovering what you don't like, you are crossing off the options which you don't want to go. And this will bring you actually closer to the direction you want to go in your life. In my case, I really like doing analytical work, but it lacked creating impact on others. I did create some impact. I made analyses and technical solutions, which I would even present to management. I would sometimes even stand off hundreds of people giving presentations. But you know what happened after? Nothing. A lot of times I felt pretty fulfilled after solving a complex problem or putting a dashboard into production. And sometimes I would even receive a thank you. But a lot of times this happened. This data can be right. You had a filter selected. Oh, thanks. At least I enjoyed doing my work, since the majority was spent on creating technical solutions. I translated those solutions to tell stories with data. You could call it analytical storytelling, but I realized creating an impact in this environment was really limited, since you were so far away from seeing how your work is having impact on other people. The work itself wasn't always appreciated, since not all people understand the technical complexity. This made me think. I asked myself, what is missing in my life? For me, the answer was to tell stories which impact others positively and are appreciated. That was the moment I decided to make a change. For me to make an impact, I needed to reach people, and YouTube offered me the possibility to do so. This brings me sitting in front of you on your screen here today. People reaching out through the comments clearly shows that impact, and if they don't, I apparently didn't provide enough value. So it's also an indication for me I can do better next time. One powerful way to provide that value is through stories. From an early age, I was always fascinated by storytelling. I would watch a lot of TED Talks because I found it interesting how people would explain important topic in a relatable way, which in the end got me thinking for days. I will stand on a stage myself one day. I neglected this interest for too long in my life. And now I've decided to turn it around and not neglect it anymore and share it with you guys. And I'm just starting out. Before I knew nothing about filmmaking, scripting, creating thumbnails, whatever. But what I did know was I needed to create an impact and how to talk. At least that's what I tell myself anyways.
Nothing about filmmaking.
And I realized my hair doesn't need to turn gray before I'm entitled to give some lessons and wisdom and sharing that with other people. Combining analytical thinking at work with creativity outside of work makes my life feel more balanced in a way. I've noticed this trend in more technical people around me. I've had a colleague who started painting because she felt creativity was missing in her life, and another colleague started writing, and one good friend of mine even decided to fully quit his job and focus on YouTube full time, now inspiring others to do the same. The message here is that different interests can enrich your life. Instead of thinking, I'm a YouTuber, I'm a data analyst, or I'm a fitness guy, the thing is, you are all of those at the same time. My plan for the future is under construction, but it is focused on living life on my own terms with the closest people around me and becoming financially independent. If these are things important to you, then stick around because I will be sharing my lessons along the way, and I know for sure they will help you too. For now, it's important to start your own journey if you haven't yet. That is one really important reason why you should start right now. If you want to know what that reason is, then watch this video next. See you next time.